Alrighty, big test tomorrow. So we are doing systems of equations review. The first few where they want you to solve each system graphically. Do it by hand, but then use your calculator to verify your solution point, especially if you're not using a ruler, which you'll use on the test. But this first equation right here, when I've got x plus y equals 5, subtract x from both sides, and y equals negative x plus 5. So that I'll begin graphing at 5 on the y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4. From there, my slope is -1, so I'll go down 1 to the right, down 1 to the right. I could go up 1 and to the left. When I try to draw this line, there it is, and then I'll label it. When I go for the second line, 4x minus 2y equal to 8. I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. Negative 2y equals negative 4x plus 8. Divide both sides by -2. And then y equals positive 2x minus 4. When I graph this one, I'm going to begin at -4 on the y-axis. And I'm going to go up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1. It looks like I've got my point of intersection. My point of intersection looks to be about 1, 2, 3, positive 2, but I'm going to verify that with the calculator because I did not use a ruler. So on your calculators, you need to make sure that you clear your RAM before you do anything. And again, that second plus sign, 7, enter 2. So we're going to go to the y equals button, top left-hand button. The first equation was negative x plus 5. The second equation was 2x minus 4. Going to hit graph. These lines should intersect just like where my lines intersected. And now to find this point of intersection, I'll go to second, trace, which is calculate, choice 5, which is intersection, and then enter, enter, enter. And we were right. It is 3, 2. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to make it very clear that my solution is 3, 2. In parentheses, they're ordered pairs. Okay. Second one, let me get this first one graphed. Y equals negative 2x plus 4. Oh, sorry, that's not right. Y minus 2x equals 4. Sorry. Try that again. So y minus 2x equals 4. Add 2x. Y equals 2x plus 4. Begin this graph at 4 on the y-axis, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1. I could go down to the left 1. And then there's my line, and I'm going to label it. Again, I'm not using a ruler. You should be. If I go for my second equation, 2y minus 4x equals negative 6. Add 4x to both sides. 2y equals 4x minus 6. Divide everything by 2. Y equals 2x minus 3. I'm going to begin at negative 3, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the left 1. Well, interesting. These lines, let me label real fast, these lines never intersect. They are parallel. You probably would have been able to determine that if you remembered that parallel lines always have the same slopes, and slope of blue is 2, slope of green is 2. The fact that these lines are parallel, there is no solution. They will never intersect. No reason to even put that on the graphing calculator because there's no point of intersection. If you want to just verify that your graphs look right, go ahead. But in terms of actually finding a point of intersection, you're not going to get one. Okay. Number 3. Line 1. 3x minus 2y equal to 6. subtract 3x, negative 2y, negative 3x plus 6. Divide everything by negative 2. Simplify your double negatives. Y equals 3 halves x minus 3. Begin at negative 3 on the y-axis, up 3, to the right 2, up 3 to the right 2, that's not 2, up 3 to the right 2, I could go down 3 to the left 2. There's my line, and I'm going to label it 2/3 x minus 3. Second line, x plus y equals negative 5 minus x, y equals negative x minus 5. Begin at negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go down 1 to the right, down 1 to the right, or up 1 to the left. Off a little bit there, off a lot there. Y equals negative x minus 5. This one looks like I'm probably over at like negative 1 down negative 4. Let's just verify with the calculator. Go back to y equals. I'm just going to clear out what's in, hit the word clear, and what's in equation 1 and what's in equation 2. I'm going to go back up to equation 1, and then we're going to type in y equals 3 divided by 2, 3 halves, x, what is it, minus 3, y2, negative x, minus 5. What is going on? How did that get all the way down there? I must have hit something funny. Let me go back up. Let's see. Okay, don't know what I did there. So I'm back down to y2. No, what's going on here? Hold on. And up. Okay, I think I'm good. And this becomes negative x minus 5. Let me see if it's something. Okay, now I'm good. All right, I'm going to hit graph because I've got both those equations in there. My lines did look just like that. And then we're going to second calculate choice 5, point of intersection. Enter, enter, enter. Aha, so we were close. We said about negative 1, negative 4, but it actually is a decimal entry, so we never would have gotten this on the graph. So it's negative 0.8, negative 4.2. So to make our solution very clear, we'll come down here, negative 0.8, comma, negative 4.2. And that is your ordered pair answer. Okay, next one. Video Store A charges $15 for membership and $2 for each video that's rented. Video Store B does not charge a membership fee but charges $3.50 for each video that is rented. Let Y be the total cost in dollars of renting X videos. So for each store, write an equation that uses both variables, X and Y. Solve the system algebraically. What's the significance of the point? So let's see, Video Store A. So A. Total cost equals $15 membership fee plus $2 per video. Video Store B. Total cost equals no membership fee, so just $3.50 per video. How will we solve this system? Well, we can substitute in y equals y, because essentially that's what's going on, right? So if I've got y is equal to y, I can substitute this in for that. So I'm going to do 15 plus 2x is equal to $3.50 x. When I solve this, remember that's y equals y. It's Video Store A equaling Video Store B. If I subtract 2x on both sides, you get 15 equals 1.50x. If you divide both sides by 1.50 or 1.5, that might be what your calculator is showing you. It's the same idea. Then 10 equals x. All right, so if 10 equals x, what's y going to be? I'm going to use Video Store B real fast. So I'm going to say, okay, if I use Video Store B, then I'm going to say y equals 3.50 times, in this case, x. Don't forget x was 10. So y comes out to be 35. So the ordered pair answer ends up being 10, 35. Well, what does that mean, 10, 35? Remember, this is x and this is y. Essentially what it's saying is if both stores have the same fee of $35, then both stores have rented 10 videos. So basically an answer like this would be, what's the significance of the point? Both stores end up charging $35 when 10 videos are rented. So make sure that this makes sense to you. We set up the equation for both of them, video store A, video store B. Because they were both y equals equations, we set them equal to each other. We solved it and got 10 and 35. 10 being x, number of videos rented, y being 35, how much it was charged, or the total cost. And if you end up, again, having $35 at both stores, you've rented 10 videos. We should be able to actually determine this graphically, not just algebraically. And that's what happens on this next slide. Determine graphically the number of video rentals for each for which the cost, including membership fees, is the same for both stores. Label your axes. Well, we already know that the x-axis happens to be the number of videos, and the y-axis happens to be the total cost. We've also found out that the point of intersection is 1035. So I can plot that point right now, 10, 35. Well, let's think about video store A for a second. If I look at store A and I make an XY chart, I already know that the point of overlap, the point of intersection is 10, 35. But remember, if I think about the y-intercept, well, at store A, if I actually have 0 for x, if I don't buy any videos, right, no videos, then it's going to be $15 for that flat fee membership rate. So really, when I think about the y-intercept, 0, 15, that would be one of the points I could plot. Let's go to store B for a second. We already know that the point of intersection is 10, 35. Well, for this one, if I think about the y-intercept again, if I go back here and say, all right, well, I'm not going to rent, if I'm not going to rent any videos in this equation, if I don't rent any videos, how much am I going to have to pay? And the answer is, well, nothing, right? So if you don't buy any videos, there's no membership fee. So 0 videos is 0 cost. If we graph both of these, so for red, store A is 0 and then 1035, and that would be my store A. This is going to be A. For B, when, that's not right. Hold on, I messed that up. Sorry. Erase that. I'm doing the wrong store there. So let me try this one again. Store A, when I've got 10 videos for $35, 0 videos cost me $15, right? I didn't graph that correctly. This is store A, okay? When I go to store B, the y-intercept, that was where 0, 0 was. That's store B. And it still is going to overlap here. So the black guy is store B. So the question says, okay, well, these are my two lines. When would it be most cost effective to become a member of Video Store A, and why? Basically, where is Video Store A having less fees or charging the less amount? Hopefully you realize that Video Store A has less fees here. Anytime there's more than 10 videos, they're charging less money. So that's what this question is. So when would video be most cost effective to be a member of Video Store A? It will be most cost effective to be a member of Store A. It would be most cost effective when renting more than 10 videos. Basically, it's cheaper at more than 10 videos. So the next question is, okay, well, when would it be more cost effective to choose store B? And store B has the less amount in terms of membership fees when you're less than 10 videos. So then I'm going to put down here, store B would be cheaper if you are renting less than 10 videos. And then obviously they cost the same when you rent exactly 10 videos. Okay, so make sure that that makes sense to you. All right, so we got a couple of word problems that are left. Anytime you do word problems, define each variable x and y, set up your system, that's two different equations, solve it, either elimination or substitution, and always label your answers appropriately. We've got the sum of two positive numbers is 15. Larger number is 9 more than the smaller. What are the numbers? Well, you have to have two numbers. Maybe we'll call one of them, or x, the small number. Let's call y the large number. Well, what's special about this? The sum of those numbers is 15. X plus y equals 15. Large number is 9 more than small. Large is 9 more than small. This lends itself very nicely to doing some substitution. I'm going to take what y is, I'm going to dump it in for what y is. Top equation becomes x plus y equals 15, or x plus 9 plus x equals 15. 2x plus 9 equals 15. Subtract both sides by 9. And then you get 2x equal to 6. Divide 2, x equals 3. We know that one of the equations was y equals 9 plus x. So then y equals 9 plus x. Y equals 12. So it says to you, find the two numbers. So then our small number is 3. And our large number equals 12. Make sure that's good. Next one. The sum of John and Harry's age is 19. The difference in their ages is 5. How old are John and Harry? Well, let's see. Let's call X John's age. Let's call Y Harry's age. The sum of their ages, X plus Y. The difference of their ages, X minus Y, is 5. Well, this sets itself up nicely for elimination. The y is already opposites. Add straight down, 2x equals 24, x then equals 12. I can go back up to the first equation where it says x, or 12, plus y equals 19, and y is going to be 7. So let's answer these questions. John is 12 years old. Harry is, how old? 7 years old. Okay, again, you're showing your x equals y equals, you're showing your two equations, you're showing all of your algebra, and you're getting an answer. 8 points on this test for these types of word problems. Next one. Senior class at Northwest High School needs to raise money for the yearbook. A local sporting goods store donates hats and t-shirts. The number of t-shirts is 3 times the number of hats. The seniors charge $5 for a hat and $8 for a t-shirt. If they sold every item and raised $435, what's the total number of hats and total number of t-shirts that were sold? Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out. We're going to call X hats. We're going to call Y shirts, t-shirts. I'm just going to call them shirts. We know the value of stuff, right? Value for value equals value. So I think that was the second part of it though, right? Yeah, so I'm going to do this. Well, I started this. I'll go to the second equation first. It says the seniors charge $5 for a hat, $8 for a t-shirt, and they get $435. So we're going to do this equation. It's going to say 5x 8y equals 435. I probably should have written this equation first, not a big deal. The number of t-shirts was 3 times the number of hats. So maybe you think about this, maybe you don't need to. But if I think of shirts and hats, what do I have more of? And the answer should be you've got more shirts. So let's say that I had 5 hats. Well, 3 times the number of hats would be 15 shirts. Let's say I had 10 hats. Well, 3 times the number of hats equals 30 t-shirts. Essentially what's happening is shirts equals 3 times hats. Well, shirts we're calling Y. Hats we're calling X. So your second equation is shirts equals 3 times hats. Now what are you going to do? Probably substitution. We've got a Y equals equation. So we're going to say then 5x plus 8y equals 435, which means 5x plus 24x equals $435. This becomes 29x equals 435. Divide by 29, divide by 29, and x equals 15. Okay, so then basically you're finding out that if x is 15, then y equals 3 times that, which means y equals 45. So the final answer ends up being, I'm going to put this up here, just to be a little bit easier. Hats, there happen to be 15 hats sold, and shirts, there happen to be 45. So I'm going to kind of put that answer up here, and that's okay. Okay, a couple more to go. Thomas, he's collected has a collection of 25 coins. Some are dimes, some are quarters. If the value of the coins is $5.05, how many of each coin does he have? All right, so let's call X dimes and Y to be quarters. The first thing says he's got 25 coins in all. That means the number of dimes plus the number of quarters equals 25 in all. Then it talks about the value of the coins is $5.05. All right, well, a dime is 10 cents X. A quarter is 25 cents Y, and the value is $5.05. Decide how you want to do this. I'm going to go for elimination. I'm going to multiply my top equation by negative 0.10. I want my x's to go away. So by doing that, my new top equation becomes negative 0.10x minus 0.10y equal minus or negative 2.5. The original blue equation, positive 0.10x plus positive 0.25y equals $5.05. When I solve this thing, the x's eliminate. That's the point. The y's, 25 cents minus 10 cents, become 15 cents y. $5.05 minus $2.50 is $2.55. When I divide both sides by 0.15, I get y to come out to be 17. So there must be 17 quarters. Well, if there's 17 quarters, I'm going to dump that in here, right? So it says x plus y equals 25. X plus 17 equals 25. X is going to be 8. So what's the final answer? We've got 8 dimes and 17 quarters. So we have 8 dimes, or Thomas, I should say, has 8 dimes, and he has 17 quarters. Two more. Motorist pays $26.50 for 10 gallons of gas and 2 quarts of oil. Another customer, same gas station, pays $23.58 for 8 gallons of gas and 3 quarts of oil. Find the cost of 1 gallon of gas and 1 quart of oil. So let X be the gas, let Y be the oil. First place, 10 gallons of gas plus 2 quarts of oil equal $26.50. Second person, 8 gallons of gas, 8x, 3 quarts of oil plus 3y equals $23.58. All right, well, let's go for elimination. How about if the y's cancel? If I can make the y's both turn into the same exact number, one positive and one negative, that's going to make them eliminate. I'm going to go for the y's to be 6. One positive 6, one negative 6. I'm going to multiply the top by a positive 3. New green equation, 30x plus 6y equals $79.50, so 79.5 or 50 cents. On the bottom, I'm going to multiply by negative 2. It's the only way to get a negative 6y. This comes out to be negative 16x, negative 6y, comes out to be a negative $47, negative $47.16. When I combine my like terms, y's cancel, that was the point. You get 14x to be $32.34. You divide both sides by 14. X comes out to be 2.31. That's fine. That means a gallon of gas is $2.31. So let's figure out what y is. I'm going to use, I guess in this case I'll use the bottom equation. No reason, I guess, just to find out y. So for the bottom equation, it becomes 8x plus 3y equals 23.58. We know that x was 2.31. So when we do the math down here, we end up getting 1848 plus 3y equals 23.58. I'm running out of room, but you can do this on your calculator. If you subtract 1848 on both sides, you're going to get 3y equals 5.1. When you divide both sides by 3, you're going to get 1.7. Know that that means $1.70. So how much does a gallon of gas cost? So it's going to be $2.31 per gallon of gas. And it's going to be $1.70 per quart of oil. That's supposed to be oil. Ugh. Don't know what I just did there. Don't know what I just did, but there's your answer. $2.31 per gallon of gas, $1.70 per quart of oil. All right. Last but not least, circus act. 3 times as many elephants as acrobats. George, Jorge, notice that all together there were 56 legs in the circus ring. How many elephants were in the show? Kind of a silly question, but interesting. So let X be your elephants. And let Y be your acrobats. you know that their circus has 3 times as many elephants as acrobats. 3 times as many elephants as acrobats. So what do they have more of? Okay, so 3 times as many elephants as acrobats, and we better have more elephants than acrobats. So let's see here. We've got elephants. We've got acrobats. So if there were 5 acrobats, there should be 15 elephants. If there were 10 acrobats, there should be 30 elephants. So basically, elephants is equal to 3 times the acrobats, or X elephants equals 3 times Y acrobats. Okay, so then what we need to do now is we need to say, alrighty, that's our first equation actually. So X equals 3Y. Second equation talks about legs, okay? That's kind of interesting. So in terms of legs, elephants happen to have 4 legs. Acrobats happen to have 2 legs. So your second equation would be, alrighty, well then 4x plus 2y equal 56 legs. I don't know why they're doing this, but whatever. If I take what x is, I can dump it in for what x is. This is substitution. 4x plus 2y equals 56. 4 times 3y becomes 12y plus 2y equal 56. And then we now get 14y equals 56. Divide by 14, and y comes out to be 4. If we now substitute this in, maybe for x equals 3y, right? So if I dump this in now for here, I'm kind of running out of room, but I'm going to say x equals 3 times 4, or x equals 12. So then the answer comes out to be, there then are 12 elephants, and there are 4 acrobats. All right, that's it. Long video. But that's what you need to know for tomorrow. Knowing substitution, knowing elimination, and knowing graphing, and being able to use your calculator for the graphing just to verify solutions. Okay, so good luck tomorrow.